Why, hello there, guys, and welcome back to Not Only Surviving But Thriving with me, your crazy kooky host. Yes, it is the king of getting a lot for your bot, Dr. Mark Segan. Today's video, guys, is all about my cost of living here in Thailand during the month of August. Now, I will admit, guys, this is the last video I'm going to be doing about the cost of living on Phuket for a long time. Not just because I'm hopping out of the country to work on some other projects. But I honestly, truly think, guys, that I'm going to be moving from Phuket very, very soon. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going. That's why I'm out on these adventures. But in this video, guys, I'm going to show you what it cost me to live 1 month on Phuket. And quite honestly, I think this is one of the most comprehensive videos you're going to find for this subject. I cover every single thing. Now, I fully understand there's going to be guys in the comments that are going to make really dumb comments about, oh, you're even talking about toilet paper. Yes, I'm talking about toilet paper, guys, because that's an expense that you're going to have. I try to cover every single thing. And I will tell you this much, guys, my numbers are 100% completely accurate. What I do when I'm out, I actually log everything on my phone as to what I'm spending so that I can make these videos for you guys. Now, I will say this much, I think I live an incredible life. And once you watch this video and you see all the things that I did, the places I went, the fun that I had this month, I think you'll say the same thing that, for my budget, and typically, guys, my budget when I'm not making my cost of living videos showing you guys, how to live on $1,000 a month, usually I'm about 12 to 1500 US dollars a month. 1500 is my top end when I'm out having adventures and exploring and going on trips, etc., etc. Usually I'm right around $1,200, $1,250 a month. Does stuff come up that blows the budget? Yes, it definitely does. You can have, emergencies happen, etc., etc. But for the most part, guys, I stick to my budget extremely well. And here's what I spent in the month of August living in Thailand. Now, my transportation, guys, I have to estimate the cost of my bike because, as you guys know, I recently bought a bike, so I don't have the recurring charge every month. But if I was going to get something comparable to my Forza, I would be looking at like a Honda ADV or something like this. So I'm simply going to budget 6,000 baht a month, which would allow you to rent a newer Honda ADV 160. And guys, I think that's a fantastic deal. Again, it's the same amount of money as my rent. I would definitely, if I'm renting a bike, guys, I would make sure that I'm not renting a piece of junk. Yes, you can rent cheaper bikes, but I'm going to tell you something. When you're out in the traffic here on Phuket, you want a bike that has been maintained well with really good brakes, really good tires and stuff like this. So this is not a place that I would skimp out on at all. I would definitely look at renting a newer bike. I've done videos about bike rentals here, different shops that I've personally used in the past and that I recommend to people. I would definitely, guys, I would rent a good bike here. Don't try to cheap out on your bike because it honestly is a matter of life and death. That being said, again, 6,000 baht, I think that's great, 186 US dollars. Now, I did spend 1,370 on gas this month. I did a lot of driving, as you guys will see later on in the video. I went all over, not only Phuket, but I went off the island a couple of different times on some adventures. And I did get my bike worked on. One thing you guys really need to understand, maintenance on a bike here is crazy cheap. Now, I did a full service a couple of months ago on the bike, so I didn't really have to do that this month. But what I did do, I replaced my brakes. I went to Honda, and Honda was telling me it was going to be about 1,250 baht, which is fantastic to replace your brakes. But a friend of mine said, no, you can get the absolute best brakes off of Shopee. So I went on, I got my brakes on Shopee, had them put on at a specialty shop here on Phuket, and it cost me 475 baht, guys. And that is absolutely incredible when I think about it. That's what, around 13 US dollars to do a full brake job front and back on my bike. So yeah, my bike expense, guys, unbelievably cheap now that I own one. If you're looking to actually rent one, yeah, you're going to be about 6,000 baht a month for the bike. And I would budget in around 1,000 baht, which is around 31, 32 US dollars for your gas a month, okay? Obviously, if you're renting, you're not going to have repairs. It is what it is. So my rent is a constant. It is 6,000 baht a month, which works out to be exactly 186 US dollars. My power fluctuates. Usually it's around 1,000 baht a month. Last month it was exactly 960, which was a grand total of 30 US dollars. So my room, everything included, is right around 215 US dollars a month. Now, could I get something nicer? Listen, I've shown you guys the pink Palace of Paradise 1,000 times in video, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But what I love about my place is I'm literally a 3-minute walk away from the beach. I love the location. For me, there's incredible upside to it, and I just love living in Patong. While I'm living here on Phuket, I'm definitely going to stay in Patong. For me, it just works out fantastic. Now, I will say this much. I could go stay at the Hill Resort, which was probably my favorite place that I've stayed at on Phuket, but that's double the price. And I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, that I would get twice as much value out of the pool. Yes, I loved the pool there, and I just recently did a video about that place. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description below. But I'm not sure I want to pay twice the price. Now, I will say this much. If the Pink Palace of Paradise is not for you, you can easily find a 1-bedroom condo here on the island, typically over in Katu or Phuket Town, for right around 10,000 baht a month. There are right now on Facebook Marketplace over 80 different listings for 1-bedroom condos here at 10,000 baht or less. So if you include your power in that, you're going to be right around 350 US dollars, and that is for a full 1-bedroom place that does have a small kitchenette. My place does not have a kitchenette. However, I do have some cooking stuff there. I've got an air fryer, a microwave. I've got a convection oven. I don't really use them, but I have them. Anyways, guys, yeah, so I am exactly 6,000 baht a month, and that again works out to be 186 US dollars for my little slice of paradise in the Pink Palace of Paradise. I have had the same health insurance for well over a year. I did switch my insurance up a little bit because as I get older, I do start worrying about, what happens if I end up in the hospital, not just from an accident. And I have been paying 3,700 baht a month, which right now works out to be 115 US dollars. I have been shopping around trying to find something better, and I did find 1 or 2 spots, guys. Once I pick which one I'm going to go with, I will share that with you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to save some money. I fully understand that insurance is one of those things that some people can afford, some people can't afford. If you have pre-existing conditions, it makes it really, really hard. Luckily and thankfully, I don't have any pre-existing conditions. I'm quite healthy for my age. I don't smoke, etc., etc. So my health insurance is not that bad. I do understand that as I get older, it's going to get more expensive. And, I'm not going to be one of those guys that eventually can't pay for his insurance. I know so many men here in Thailand that have no insurance at all. There's some guys who they're self-insured. They have enough money that if something happens to them, they're going to be fine. There's other guys, if anything happens to them, they're going to be absolutely. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice. I myself, I would not be in Thailand without insurance, guys, especially if you're out driving the bikes. Get some accident insurance because you cannot imagine how detrimental it will be to you to end up in the hospital in a bike accident, guys. You're talking millions and millions of baht, and it can be financially destructive to your life. It honestly can. So 115 US dollars for my insurance. Hopefully I'm going to get that down a little bit, or at least get coverage that I'm completely, totally happy with. Again, I will cover this in an upcoming video when I pick my next company. A few months ago, a subscriber actually recommended a new dental clinic to me, and I did. I went there a few months ago. I had some work done, and I was so impressed I actually made a video about it. And I did go back this month to get some corrective work done on one of my molars, and they did such an incredible job. I'm over the moon happy, and I will be going back to get some other stuff done throughout the year. I spent 2,500 baht, guys, having one of my molars completely, totally reconstructed. I think that is absolutely mind-blowing. And again, I am so happy with the work. That's just slightly over what, 70 US dollars. And I was in the operating room or the dental chair, whatever the hell you want to call it, for right around an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm blown away by the quality of the service. I think it's incredible. So yes, I did spend 2,500 baht on dental work last month. Now, before I get too far into this video, guys, I want to talk really quick about inflation and the currency crisis that we're going through here right now. Please understand, guys, that yes, I fully understand that inflation affects every single country, but it hasn't really touched Thailand at all. Listen, I'm paying the same amount of baht for my food that I was paying 3 or 4 years ago. Paying the exact same price for my beers that I was paying 3 or 4 years ago. The difference right now is the damn currency exchange rates. It is absolutely insane. And I'll tell you how insane it is. Typically, my budget is right around 1,500 US dollars a month when I'm out doing all of these things and just, not showing you guys what it's like to live on $1,000 a month. I'm typically spending around 1,500. And it's now $100 more expensive a month for me than it was just 4 months ago. So this video here, guys, what it would have cost me 4 months ago is exactly $108 more expensive now than it was 4 months ago. And that is a huge difference. It truly, honestly is. That again is an 8% difference just in 4 months. And I have talked to a lot of guys who just simply can't afford Thailand anymore because they are on limited budgets. They are on fixed pensions. And I've met a lot of guys who have actually gone to Cambodia to live or Vietnam to live because they simply cannot afford it here right now. Hopefully the currency changes, the dollar goes up again, the baht comes down, they're going to be able to come back to Thailand. But right now, I'm going to tell you something. This currency situation is really up a lot of people. Put that into perspective, guys, for you. If you're Australian, same budget, it's costing you an extra $160 a month. That is a ton of money for guys who, again, are on limited budgets or fixed pensions, et cetera, or even just guys coming here to have fun. The difference right now is staggering and it sucks. My food budget was exactly 8,205 baht this month. Now that does not include my food when I went away on my trips, which again I will get to later on in the video. Guys, I typically average around 300 baht a day on food. That's just pretty much, that's my sweet spot. It honestly is. There's a lot of days that I'm a lot less than that, and there's days obviously that I go above that. Now, I do not eat seafood. So I'm not going and having lobster, shrimp, anything like this. And quite honestly, shrimp and stuff here is not expensive. Lobster obviously is. There's some different seafood dishes that can be expensive, but that's not my type of food. It's not because I'm a cheap Charlie. It's just because I can't stand the stuff. Don't like the smell of it. Absolutely hate the taste of it. So I'm not eating seafood. Now, I will say this much. When I do get a craving for something, typically it's Mexican food. Everybody knows that the doctor loves his tacos, so I would say that my biggest expense on non-Thai food would be tacos. And usually I'm going to the Happy Cactus when they have their tacos on their happy hour sales, which 45 baht for a taco. I found a new place here in Patong called Two's Tacos. I'm releasing a video about that in a few days. They have some of the most incredible tacos I've ever had anywhere. These things are delicious, I gotta tell you. And one thing I love about that place, they have all day happy hour beer specials where the beers are only 59 baht, guys, which is absolutely hilarious. So you can get values on non-Thai food, guys. A lot of the restaurants I go to, yes, are Thai because I love Thai food. I really do. My favorite restaurant in all of Thailand is this little tiny soy restaurant right beside my condo. It's on one of the side soys, and there's nothing on the menu, guys, that is over $2 US. I absolutely love the food there. I do add certain things to it, so I do get the price up a little bit. My pad krapao, I typically get it with 2 or 3 fried eggs just because, well, I love the protein and I love the way that she does her fried eggs for me. I go to certain restaurants like Wrong Bay all of the time where I can get a chicken steak dinner for right around $2.50 American. And then there's all kinds of other spots that I go to, different noodle houses, stuff like this. I'm typically not paying any more than 100 baht for a meal. Now, I do not include my booze in my food, guys, because 99% of the time I never drink when I'm out eating because I'm typically driving my bike. If I know that I'm going to go someplace and have a couple of beers, I'm going to take a taxi there or I'm going to walk. I'll get to my taxi cost later on. But for the most part, yeah, guys, I'm not drinking when I'm going out to eat unless I'm meeting a subscriber and I know that we're going to be having a good time. And again, like I said, during those times, I will walk or I will take a taxi there. But yeah, 8,205 US dollar, or sorry, 8,205 Thai baht is what I spent on my food, and that works out to be right around 254 US dollars. Now, I do try to eat as healthy as I possibly can. Listen, there's a lot of fried foods here. There's all kinds of stuff that's cooked with oils, etc., etc. I do my best to try to avoid that stuff. I also ask who's ever cooking for me to cut way back on the sugar and not use any MSG. I can't stand MSG. It always gives me a splitting, pounding headache. One thing I do though, guys, is I eat fresh fruit every single day. And I go to the same fruit stand all the time. There's a guy right outside of my condo. He actually has one of my shirts that he wears all of the time. And I will typically get some watermelon, some pineapple, some cantaloupe, honeydew melons when he has them. There's some other little fruits that he has once in a while. I'm not sure what they are. I just pick them up. My bill for my fruit last month was 1,260 baht, which worked out to be exactly 39 US dollars. I do drink a lot of water, and if you're going to live in the tropics, guys, on a tropical island like this, you're going to drink a ton of water. So I buy my water all of the time at Tops, Big C, 7-Eleven. I buy cases of 12 or 24 if I can find them. And my water bill this month, guys, was 205 baht, which is right around $6.35. Coconuts. I love fresh coconuts. And what I do, guys, is I go over to Phuket town. There's a spot right beside the Naka night market during the daytime where you can go and you can buy all kinds of fresh fruits. They have a great selection of coconuts. And I always go to the same stand. And what I do, guys, is I buy my coconuts a dozen at a time. Now, typically, I can't fit a dozen coconuts in my fridge. So what I will do is I will pay for my coconuts. And what they'll let me do is they'll let me take like 6 today, then come back in a week or so and get 6 at another time. Cost me 150 baht for 12 coconuts. So yes, I'm buying these smaller coconuts. And the reason for that is I got small coconuts. Let's be honest. Everybody knows that. Also, they fit in my fridge, okay? If I get a big coconut, it won't fit in my fridge. And I really like my coconuts ice cold. So that's what I'm spending on that stuff there, guys. It's really cheap, you know. At the end of the day, I'm spending right around $50, I would say $52, $53 on water, on coconuts, and on fresh fruit. Now, I have kicked my Coke habit, which is fantastic. I haven't had a Coke, guys, since just right after Christmas. That has changed things for me substantially. However, what I do drink now is I drink the Schweppes no sugar lime soda. And I'll be honest with you, I mix it with my Sangsum all of the time. And I spent right around $6.50 this month on my Schweppes, but that made me quite a few cocktails. Grooming and essentials. Obviously, guys, I'm not going to a barber. I shave the dome at home. If you are one of the guys that does go for a haircut, it's going to be between 200 and 400 baht every single month. Doesn't matter how much hair you have here. It's actually pretty cheap going to the barber. Again, I do it all at home. This month, I spent 420 baht, which is right around 13 US dollars. And that included some shaving cream, soaps, deodorant. I did have to buy some of that bloody deodorant. Thankfully, a buddy of mine, Alan, brought me some deodorant from Australia. Mate, thank you so much. Everybody appreciates it, believe me. I got a few other things here and there, some toothpaste, toothbrushes, toilet paper, etc., etc. 13 US dollars is what I spent. Clothing wise, didn't have to buy any clothes this month, which was great. I did buy some flip-flops though, and the flip-flops that I like, I switched brands about almost a year ago, and my new flip-flops are usually 199 baht. They had them on sale this month for 129 baht, so I actually picked up 2 pairs. So I spent almost 260 baht on flip-flops, worked out to be right around $8. So for my essentials, my grooming, my clothing, 21 US dollars for the month. I don't even know why I'm even going to bring this one up, but my cell phone. Again, guys, I'm with True Mobile and I have an unlimited data package and I pay 200 baht a month. That is right around $6.35. And I do add on 20 baht in case I ever have to make a phone call. And I honestly cannot remember the last time I made a phone call in Thailand, but I do toss on 20 baht a month just in case I have to make a phone call. It is hilarious how cheap the cell phone packages are here. Now, I will say this much. I think next month, or actually in a few months, I'm going to increase my package. Wouldn't that be nice if we could? Just saying. Fuck. Jesus, these jokes are getting corny. Anyways, I might get a different package in a couple of months just because I hear there's one that will make just my uploads to YouTube even faster. So yeah, I'm probably going to break the bank and jump up to a 300 baht a month package, or I might just keep the one I'm on, who knows. Massages. There's no way that I'm going to go without getting a massage at least every other day. And last month I had 7 massages. 1,450 baht is what I spent, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And guys, that works out to be right around 45 US dollars. And I'm going to a spot here in Patong where the massages are 150 baht each. It doesn't matter if you get a foot massage, Thai massage, or an oil massage. And I mix them up depending on how my body feels that day. And I do tip. So in that, I also included tips. Listen, if I didn't tip, that would be right around 1,050 baht, which is unbelievable for 7 massages. And the service is fantastic. Nope, straight up, boys, they're not happy ending massages. And trust me, the spot that I'm going, you would not want to have a happy ending massage because for the most part, I'm either getting extremely older ladies doing it or I'm getting lady boys or guys doing it because especially for my feet and my legs, I like the lady boys because they have extremely strong hands and they do a fantastic job. Plus, the flirtation is hilarious while they're doing it. It's almost worth the price of admission alone. So yeah, right there, guys, I think that's incredible. 1,450 baht, which is right around $45 for my massages. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, I never drink and drive. Listen, I've seen so many people get completely, totally and jump on a bike here and it always ends up just it's never a good ending. I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to kill yourself. You certainly don't want to kill somebody else, and you do not want to end up in a Thai prison or losing 50 or 60,000 baht because you're trying to buy yourself out of a DUI. I'm not going to take the chance. Not only that, when I was younger, someone really, really close to me got killed by a drunk driver. So I just don't do it. If I'm going someplace and I know that I'm going to be drinking, I take a Bolt car. Here on Patong, I do not take tuk-tuks because they're crazy expensive. And I don't want to do that. I'd much rather take a taxi somewhere. So I use Bolt cars. And last month I spent $13 on Bolt cars. I took 3 different rides and that was 410 baht. $13, and I think that's the best $13 I spent all month because trust me, there's no way I should have been driving in any of those circumstances. And of course, that brings us to my booze budget. Now, I break my booze budget down into several different categories, okay? First off is just my regular booze, sitting around having a buzz, my beach beers, my home beers, and my food beers, okay? So I go to the beach a lot and I go to the exact same bar all of the time. I sit there and I have a couple of beers. and it's 60 baht for a beer. And last month, guys, I had 14 beers at that bar, so it came to 840 baht. Now, I also include in this budget the beers that I have when I go out and I have something to eat. I go for tacos, etc., etc. And again, usually I'm going to the Happy Cactus or I'm going to Two's Tacos. So I'm averaging these out, guys. It was 70 baht each because one spot it's 80, one spot it's 60. So it averages out at 60 baht, or sorry, 70 baht. And again, my expense for the month was 840 baht for that. Now, I do have beers around my condo and stuff when I'm working on videos or I'm sitting outside enjoying the sun. That came to a grand total of 1,050 baht. And then I enjoy my Sangsom. So I usually pick up one of the larger bottles of Sangsom, 300 baht. So yeah, my bill for the month, guys, was only 3,030 baht, which is right around 94, 95 US dollars. I think that's fantastic. Now, that does not include the money I spend when I go out, okay? And when I mean go out, I mean I go out to party. Now, I don't go out to party very often. It's not me. So last month I was out essentially 2 nights here on Phuket, okay? I'll get to some other partying that I did in a few minutes, but here on Phuket, guys, I went out twice. One night I went down to Bangla Road and I met a subscriber. We went to Sunset Bar, which I really enjoy. It's my favorite spot to go because the beers are cheap and the girls don't bother me at all. They're not sitting there hounding me to buy them lady drinks and all of that shit. It's a spot that I can go, I can talk, I can have a good time. And I spent 660 baht that night, which, I mean, guys, that's incredible. That's like 20 US dollars, and I had a fantastic time. Then there was my incredible booze-fueled night at O-Top, okay? Now, I never do this. However, I went and I had a crazy night, I'll tell you how crazy it was. I ended up pole dancing with an incredibly beautiful young girl from China, as you can see in this photo, which made its rounds all around social media. So yeah, I've taken quite a bit of shit over this picture. Had a fantastic time though, let me tell you. 2,200 baht. So 68 US dollars, guys. I went and partied all night long. We played pool. We obviously danced on the bar tops. That included buying drinks for the girls at the bars that we were at. We played pool, we played dice games. We just had a fantastic time. 68 US dollars. So my booze budget, guys, it's not that much. Again, I'm not going out to party for a bunch of different reasons, and I've talked about that in other videos. I have to be careful where I go now because there's some really crazy people out there. And for the most part, I don't want to spend crazy amounts of money doing that. And also, I don't want to end up that drunk idiot on social media who everybody makes fun of, a la this photo. No, well, it is what it is. At least it wasn't me making out with a ladyboy, so I can't complain too much. And it did actually squash some questions about my, what can I tell you? It was a fantastic night until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then it went all downhill from there. I'll fill you in on that at the very end of the video. So if you have been following me here on YouTube or on Facebook, you guys know that I'm pretty much burnt out on Phuket. I really, truly, honestly am. And I'm going to tell you this much. I really noticed this in August. I needed to get away from Phuket as much as possible. So I did. I went on 2 trips last month. My first one was to Phang Nga, and I went to this incredible camping. What an experience I had, guys. I went to a place called Rill Camping, and it is completely, totally off the grid. I am doing a video about that experience, and guys, it was just absolutely fantastic. You're out in the middle of nowhere in the jungle. You're beside this river in these incredibly beautiful cottages, and I had such a great time. What I loved about it was I was the only person there. There's 4 cottages and I was the only person renting one. And the lady was so nice to me. She actually let me stay an extra night. Now, I did. I had fires there. And of course, you know me, I had, I can't really call these pool beers, but these were, I guess, stream beers, we're going to call them. I'm not sure. I did get some snacks and stuff. I went into, there's not even a town there. I went and I found some roadside things and I got some chicken and stuff like that. So I ate, I had a great time. They did give me breakfast in the morning, both mornings that I was there. It was pretty good. And I just unplugged. I just got away from it all. The cell reception was pretty much nothing while I was in there, which was great for me. And the stream was ice cold. The beers were great. The fire was wonderful. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. That was a fantastic time. Now, that was a grand total of 2,920 baht. My cottage for the night was 1,000 baht. And again, she gave me an extra night for free. I did spend some money, obviously, on some beers and stuff. I think I spent 340 baht on beers. I spent some money on food, stuff like this. And then what I did was the next day when I found out she was letting me have the place for free, I did go down to a spot that she recommended and I did a rafting tour. They take you down the stream on a raft and I just kicked back, I relaxed, and that was 600 baht for that, guy. So, I mean, it's absolutely amazing that I was able to go on a weekend getaway for less than 100 US dollars. Absolutely incredible. And I had a fantastic time. It really recharged my batteries and I didn't want to leave. I really didn't want to leave. However, sadly enough, she had the place completely booked out for the next week. And I had to go back to Phuket. And quite honestly, after being on Phuket for about another week, I was ready to get away again. So that's exactly what I did. I jumped on the bike and I headed down to Koh Lanta, which is one of my favorite places. I'm actually quite torn as to where I'm going to move next. Is it going to be Hua Hin? Is it going to be Ray Long? Or is it going to be Koh Lanta? I love Koh Lanta. I love the idea of taking the ferry over. I find it's a romantic, it just makes me feel fantastic going there. And there's a hotel, a resort complex that I love staying at, and it's called Rentana. Guys, you're not going to believe this, but I got this incredible place right here. And believe me, it is fantastic. It's beautiful. The location for me is perfect. This was $10 a night. I paid 960 baht for 3 nights here, guys. Here's the proof right here. You can see that one night I got it for 330 baht. The next 2 nights I got it for 315 baht. It was 960 baht, guys, which is 30 US dollars for 3 nights in this incredible spot. They have a beautiful pool, and they're also just literally a 1-minute drive away from one of the most beautiful secluded beaches that I love going down to. And one of the big reasons I love going down to Koh Lanta is I go to that beach at nighttime when the sun's coming down and I have bonfires. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to tell you something. The sunsets down here on Koh Lanta will take your breath away, guys. They are quite honestly some of the most beautiful sunsets in the world. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. This trip was everything I needed to just feel good about life again. Trust me when I tell you that. I drove all around the island. I saw so many incredible, wonderful things. And I had some amazing foods. Joe's Texas Barbecue down on Koh Lanta is one of my favorite spots to go. He does everything by hand. He smokes all of his own meats and stuff. He makes his own bacon. He has these cowboy beans that are just delicious. His potato salad is, a little expensive, but I'm going to tell you something. Joe's Texas Barbecue, amazing. Had some other incredible foods while I was there. Went out every single night. Played a lot of pool, shot a lot of dice, had some cocktails, etc., etc. Just an incredible time. And my 4-day getaway vacation to Koh Lanta with the ferry over, my hotel room, my booze, my food, my night times out, and I had a lot of fun, guys. Koh Lanta was everything that I needed 6,890 baht, which is absolutely foolish when you think about how cheap that is, guys. I'm just going to check and see how much that was American. That was a grand total of 213 US dollars for a 4-day getaway. And again, I don't know what you would call this place. My cottage, my cabin, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, guys. It was an amazing time. 213 US dollars for a 4-day getaway. So there we go, guys. My budget for the month was a grand total, and I think this is absolutely incredible when you consider everything that I did. I went out, I partied, I did this, I did that. I had incredible food. I went on not one, but 2 amazing vacations. So I was away in total for 7 days. I spent 49,493 baht. That is a grand total of 1,533 baht. So I was 2% over my budget, but I don't think about the budget, guys. I really don't. When I'm out having fun, I'm not thinking, oh, I can only spend this, I can only spend that. I'm just so used to living a certain way that, you know, for me to go past that budget is crazy. But again, I had a fantastic time. I went out, you know, I never do what I did by going out to OTOP and getting, you know, absolutely shit-faced to the point that I'm pole dancing, you know. I'm also usually not going and buying lady drinks, but we had such a great time that night that it was like, have some fun. Again, I went away on 2 vacations. That trip to Koh Lanta, guys, I'm going to tell you something, was absolutely incredible. And I have fun. I go out, I meet people, I talk to people, I socialize. You know, I'm just not going to the crazy go-go bars and spending foolish amounts of money and stuff like that. So for me to spend 1,533 US dollars a month, I had a fantastic time. I truly did. Could I spend more? Of course I could. But the only thing I could possibly spend more money on would be my condo. And again, I love where I live. I love the location. And for me, it's ideal because I'm not spending, well, as you guys can obviously see, I'm not spending a lot of time in my condo. I will say this much though, 4 months ago, this would have cost me $114 less than what it costs me right now. So please understand that right now, because of, again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, this whole currency situation here in Thailand, that's a substantial difference. So that's a lot of money, guys, that I didn't have to spend. That is, you know, almost 3,000, 3,500. It's actually really close to 3,500 baht that I didn't get to spend because of the currency situation. I'm still definitely living my best life. It's just getting a little bit more expensive. So hopefully, again, like I said, the baht will come down, and you know, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, hopefully you got something out of this video. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Leave me a like, a comment, anything that would help. I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. Completely, totally free for you. So next time, guys, cheers. Hold on 1 minute, guys, because we are not done. My night out at OTOP, as fun as it was, actually it ended in tragedy because I dropped my phone and I shattered the screen on my Samsung. Guys, that cost me 8,000 baht. That is roughly around 18% of my budget, guys. Oh, it sucked. And that's one thing that you guys have to think about when you're here. If you are on a tight budget, shit's going to happen. Not everything is going to go smooth. You know, you might have to go to the dentist like I did. You might shatter your phone. Maybe you're going to get a fine or something like this. You never know what's going to happen, guys. So always give yourself a buffer zone on your budgets. That's why, and I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, guys, I only spend about 25% of the money that I bring in every single month. Between, you know, my investments and, you know, my income from my rentals and stuff like this, YouTube, I don't really spend YouTube money, but I'm only spending about 25%. And some months I don't even spend that. Sometimes it's like 10 or 15, maybe 20%. You don't have to spend every cent that you get, guys, because You do have to think about inflation. You do have to save for a rainy day. You do have to be prepared for emergencies. And emergencies can spring up like that. That's why they're called emergencies, guys. And having to spend 8,000 baht to fix your phone really sucks. But if you're prepared for it, it's not so bad. Plus, you're in Thailand. You'll get over it in a hurry, I promise.